come here and sit with you for some time, and then maybe we'll discuss a few things and perhaps we'll plan something. But when I came here in the morning, after I came here, I'm told that I have to address you. So I'm completely taken by surprise. This perhaps I did not guess. Anyway, now that we are all here together, now I also have a vague idea of what exactly is expected from this meeting. What are the objectives of an initiative like this by the Board of Intermediate Education, which of course by all means is a very noble one in the light of the situation around. So let's try to make the most of it. Do you all have some scribbling pads, pens or whatever?
Yes.
Good, very good, very good.
Well, we'll get it, sir.
Yeah, in case you can get them, that's great. I must heartily congratulate you on being chosen by the Board of Intermediate Education as subject experts, senior teachers. I see some principals there. You don't look principals at all. You are too very young to be principals. I think all 3 or 4 of you who say that principals are too very young. Maybe you became principals at a very young age. I must congratulate you for that too. So hearty congratulations to all of you for being chosen. You are the chosen few, right? So that's something you must be very proud of. Coming to the task, can you quickly tell me one sentence or half a sentence or one word about how intermediate classes are happening now? Everybody. How are they happening now?
During the corona.
Before the lockdown. What is happening in the class?
Classroom teaching.
Classroom teaching.
Classroom.
Yes, most of it is teaching. Right.
Interaction.
Lecture method. A little interaction here and there. Right. And anything else?
So most of them say.
So most of it is maybe like you said, a majority of it is the lecture method. Maybe some interaction here and there with the students' involvement. And maybe science teachers perhaps use some tools
Project,
to
yes.
some demonstration,
Yes.
some simulation,
Yes.
some etc. etc. So this is where we stopped. Instead of evolving further, instead of keeping in pace with what's happening around the world, maybe somewhere we began progressing, but I don't know why we stopped with that lecture method, stuck there for centuries. And there was a need for us. Even before the lockdown began, even before Corona came, even before a meeting like this was thought of, there was an urgent need all over the world, including India, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Hyderabad, to think of something very dramatically different. The routine would not do any longer. The routine will not work. It served its purpose. It outserved its purpose. It became obsolete. It was not yielding the expected results. It was a dead kind of a technique, but we still were using it for a very long time. I don't know why. I was taught like that. Perhaps you were taught like that, and your students also are taught like that. Right? I went to college 50 years ago. Right? Maybe 45 years ago, 40 years ago. And I was taught the same. All my teachers use the lecture method. And maybe you went to college, you were taught that way. And you are teaching your students also the same way. Unfortunate. Very unfortunate. Now, somebody was telling me, I think Surendra was telling me when I was entering, that Corona is a blessing. Corona is a blessing in disguise. It does not look like a blessing. It looks like a curse. Right? It looks like a pandemic. It looks like something very disastrous. Right? As if the skies are going to fall and then some scare is created all over. But it has been a blessing in many different ways. So on the non-academic side, we already know the blessings. We now know how to live very simple lives. Right? How to live with limited means. How to avoid eating outside. How to avoid going out to movies and all that kind of luxurious life. That was not necessary. We could live without them. For 70 days we have lived. And to share one experience with you, after 74 days, today is the first time I've come out of my home.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
I don't know what a mask is. Today, I've never worn one. I never needed one. Today I had to take out a handkerchief because I was coming out. And then I had to make it a mask. And then wear it around me. I put some camphor inside that, and then I'm wearing it now. So coming back to that, so this is a tremendous change that has happened, and the corona and the lockdown particularly has come like a beautiful blessing to all of us. There is a lot to learn now. If we miss this opportunity, the bus will not stop for us, and we'll have gone too very far behind with the rest of the world, with ourselves, and we'll have done a disastrous damage to the future of our students if we don't learn today. The question is, what is it that we need to learn? As far as our academics is concerned, life we have learned. Life has already taught us lots of lessons, right? We can eat with whatever is available at home without thinking of food outside. That's a great lesson that we have learned. We have realized that we can live at home with the members of our family. We can live without all those gadgets that we have outside and lots of other things. Life has taught us already, health has taught us. But what is it that we have to learn in the academic field? Now, I asked you that question, so you've been using that teaching, classroom demonstration, classroom delivery. These are the things that we'll be doing. So what change, what dramatic change can we make? I just would like to talk about two things. The medium that we are going to use and the tool that we are going to use. Two are two different. I think there is a little confusion. Right? The medium that we are going to use is one thing, and the tool that we are going to use to, educate our students is a different thing. As far as the medium is concerned, right, there are two very popular, well-known, reasonably priced mediums available which are very popular today. One is Zoom and one is GoToMeeting / GoToWebinar. GoToMeeting, GoToWebinar are the same thing, same company, but they offer different kind of resources to the users. Both are equally good. Both are equally acceptable. Both are similarly priced. Price-wise also they are similar. That should not be a problem at all. The only difference is Zoom is easier to use. It's easier because the tools are always on the screen. Just a click of a button is all that's needed. Even a new user can easily be taught, and all that you need to learn is just switch on, switch off your camera, switch on, switch off your microphone, share your screen. Three things, just three things if you learn. I think Zoom is learned. All other advanced things only the host knows. There is a host there is a co-host. They will learn and others need not know. Just three buttons are enough. In GoToMeeting and GoToWebinar, it's slightly, maybe 5 to 10% more technical, but the tool, the medium itself is equally good, comparatively slightly priced lower, right? Both are not Indian companies, and to your surprise, both are not Chinese companies. Right? So there is a widespread rumor that Zoom is Chinese, don't use it. Zoom has nothing to do with China.
You have liberated us, sir, from the
So that's only a rumor.
How
Rumor
about
spread.
Google? How
Sorry?
about Google Meet, sir? Google Meet.
Google Meet is just evolving. It's just developing now.
Cisco Meet.
Many facilities are not there.
Okay.
Cisco is there and all others are there. These are too good.
Okay.
There is an Indian, a complete Indian equivalent app called Namaste,
Namaste.
which has gradually started becoming popular, but there are many features missing there. They are building them slowly, they are upgrading them. The newer versions are coming. Maybe very soon, perhaps in a few months, we'll have an alternative Indian medium which will be available to us, which can be used if it is advised and then it becomes popular. As in today, right? So the two that I suggested, GoToWebinar and GoToWebinar for a larger number of people, GoToMeeting for a smaller number of people, Zoom depending on the size of the people, we can choose whatever. All are licensed versions. There are free versions also. Both are free versions. If the number is 50, 100 are very small. If you are going to use it only for 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 1 hour. So the versions are free, completely free. For classrooms, intermediate classrooms, the free versions also should be good. And in case Board of Intermediate Education wants it, they can buy bulk licenses, business licenses, not individual licenses. Bulk licenses are cheaper. Multiple licenses come with lots of other facilities also. And once the board buys them, it will be automatically available to all the colleges, all the teachers parallelly. Right? Commissionerate of Collegiate Education has already done that. They have run some summer classes for all colleges, and Zoom meetings were held by colleges for students at various levels. There. Coming to the tool, two tools that I can think of, because I have not come with any deep, thorough preparation. I did not know what I had to speak about. But I'll just tell you that there are two very good tools that you can use to teach your lessons. What is a tool? Tool, I'm using it as an alternative for an LMS. I think you know what's an LMS. Does anybody know? Learning Management System. So an LMS is a learning management system. I am using the word tool and LMS as synonyms today. Right? So there are two tools which are available. Again, paid versions and free versions are there, depending on the size of the students, depending on the time that we want to use it for, etc. One is Edmodo, Edmodo. I request all of you to go back today and then just go to Edmodo, search for it. Do whatever little you can and create an account and then just experiment with that. Self-learning packaging doesn't need much teaching actually. Anyone who is interested can learn in a matter of 1 day. Not even 1 day, if you ask. If you are interested. Edmodo, Edmodo. And the second is Moodle, M capital, Moodle. There are 100 others in the market. All are equally good perhaps. Each one has some facilities and maybe compared to something else, perhaps one is better than the other on one scale, and like you distinguish between one college and another. So there are lots of advantages, disadvantages with almost everything, but these are the most popular. Again, both are not Indian, both are not Chinese. Right? So they are available. Then what do we do them? What do we do with these things? They are learning management systems. While coming here, Mr. Lakshma Reddy took the trouble of bringing me here from home, and he was telling me on the way that some teachers have an idea of uploading their video lessons and making them available to students. But the question that's debated is they are not very interactive, and the lessons are shown to the students, but the students cannot seek any clarifications on them, and that's why there can be some problems. You may not believe me, about maybe 20 years ago, there was one gentleman by name Sampath Kumar Char who worked for Intermediate Board. Has anybody heard of him? Sampath Kumar Char, he worked for the Intermediate Board in the next building. When he was working here, he had set up a complete studio in Intermediate Board, and he started making video lessons then, 20 years ago. In fact, I produced some of those lessons. I did one lesson in economics. I did maybe 10 lessons in English and a few lessons in biology. What did I do? I learned it by heart and then I presented it before a camera. That was all that I had those days. Later, we had Mana TV, ETV, and Nipuna TV, TSAT, and so many other things have come. I produced about 100 lessons for collegiate education, right, on Mana TV those days before I retired. And all the technology is available to us, right? In case you want to produce lessons, you can just go to the studio, or you can convert your home into a very simple studio with simple tips without hardly any expenditure, and you can present lessons at your home. But the question is not just uploading your video, but it needs a lot more. Your video lesson only makes your classroom asynchronous instead of synchronous. That's the only advantage. Suppose you go to a class and teach your students, the student must be there at that time in your class, and he must be in the right mood, the teacher must be in the right mood, and he must be willing to learn, you must be willing to teach, the classroom must be pleasant, right? Under some conditions, that will work. So you are there, the student is there in front of you, you teach. The only advantage the video lesson has is it makes the lesson asynchronous. Asynchronous means you listen to it whenever you want. You need not sit together and learn like this. So like he is recording the lesson there and is already putting it online, and somebody may not listen to it now, but later he'll come back to that and listen when he is in the right mood. So suiting his convenience. Another advantage is you need not listen to the whole thing at one go. Maybe I listen to the lesson the first 10 minutes and after that I have some work, I go, come back and then I listen to part 2, part 3, any number of installments. Or maybe I have a question in between, I stop the lesson, right? I refer a dictionary, I refer a textbook, I ask somebody, I call somebody and check, and then I continue the lesson. So these are some advantages in making our lessons asynchronous. So videos lessons only offer that advantage, but not beyond that. But the modern world has opportunity for us to make lessons much more open and much more interactive. What is that? One, if a student wants to speak to the teacher while the lesson is happening, can he do that? In a video lesson, it's not possible. Suppose a student has a question he would like to email, not possible. Suppose the teacher wants to hold a test somewhere in the middle. So half the lesson is over, he wants to administer a test. That's not possible. Right? Suppose the student wants to add some interactive tool within that lesson that's being presented. Not possible. So many kinds of interaction are not possible in just making our lessons videoed. It's not enough. So what do? We think of an LMS. A learning management system offers all these things to us. What can we do in an LMS? First, like a textbook is created, in an LMS, I can create my course, curriculum. So creation of the course and the creation of the curriculum is the first advantage in having an LMS. What do? For instance, I want to teach maybe biology. I am teaching them invertebrates, right? And I have 4 chapters, 5 chapters in that, or 5 topics in that, and those 5 topics I create, right? This section 1 is some kind of lesson planning, not even lesson plan, some type textbook planning, course material design, CD, course design. So I am doing course design at this stage, and then the LMS helps me, right? How much am I going to teach? How many classes do I need? How much time each lesson needs? And how do I know whether you have learned lesson 1 or not? What yardsticks can be built into it to know whether a student has accessed that, acquired that, assimilated that, right? Analyzed that, to evaluate that, there is a provision in that. So this is advantage 1. Then the course delivery. I am not giving you all the details, I am just quickly telling you what it is. Course design is over, then course delivery. In case I have a combination of this physical synchronous and asynchronous teaching, what are the possible ways of delivering information, delivering knowledge to my students? 1, I can teach them. 2, I can hold a test for them. 3, I can flip my class, and in a flipped class, what can I do? I'll give them a project first. I'll ask them to go and work on that project, come back to me, and they'll discuss the project with me. Then, in case there is anything left that they have not learned, I teach them, discuss with them. So it's a completely flipped classes are the most popular in the world today. Right, so I can flip the class there. Then I can also bring some good material available from somewhere. I am an ordinary teacher. My knowledge of biology is limited, but there is one expert in MIT who has produced a beautiful, powerful, effective, right, interactive lesson, and which has no copyright. They are available in the open domain, and I can just borrow it. I can take it from Google, YouTube, whatever, and I can put it in my lesson. There is a picture, a visual that's very good. I do not pay 1 rupee for that. I can bring that visual and add to my lesson. There is a quiz already created by some great teacher or my contemporary or my neighbor in the next college, and that quiz I can use as it is in my lesson. Right? Or if you are teaching physics, chemistry, etc., there are wonderful simulations. Suppose you want to teach them how a machine works. It's not easy to teach it. So there is a simulation that's available. So the simulation, you go to Discovery Channel or National Geo or whatever, and then you borrow that and then you put it into your lesson. Possible. If you are using an LMS, that's possible. In a video lesson, that's not possible. So in Edmodo and in Moodle and in 100 other similar LMS tools that are available on the web, either for free or for a charge, all this is possible. Your lessons become the best possible in the world. And to add to that, if there are 20 biology teachers in your district or 200 biology teachers in the state, all of you can sit together and produce lessons together, edit them, revise them, change them, improve them, take an expert's help and all that, and finally you post them, you upload them on that LMS. Once it's on LMS, every student can be created, given a password, or every student can be given an access to the room. He enters the room whenever he wants, at his pace. Some students perhaps find it easy to come in the morning, some in the evenings, what's wrong? Some students can read only on Sundays, some students read every day, no problem. So they come, they enter with their password, and they take the lessons at their pace, and there will be an 24-hour, 365 days open opportunity for them to interact with you, ask you a question, right? Or ask his colleagues a question. Suppose there are 10 students in that class, even they can talk to one another through Edmodo. Right? And all that will be recorded. You can regulate what kind of interaction you permit, what kind of interaction you restrict. So everything can be switched on, switched off, as simple as that. You can say, okay, students can interact. You can also say, students cannot interact with each other, students can interact only with the teacher.